Uber and Lyft have been warning me about deactivations, and they've been supplying drivers here in the state of New York with a lot of information. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Levi, and this is the Daily Drive. Today's Daily Drive is brought to you by Tonquin. With Tonquin, you deliver car parts from auto part suppliers to auto part repair shops. I love Tonquin, and I've been using Tonquin for many years. With Tonquin, you work from business to business. You're not dealing with consumers and passengers who might not necessarily be there when you arrive. You're dealing with people and businesses that want to get that part delivered right away. And it's great. Tonquin works just like any other gig app. And I love it. I like to use it from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. when Uber and Lyft are really slow in my market. This is when Tonquin is at its most busy. Tonquin's great. Go check them out. There's a link in the bio. And let the team at Tonquin know that Levi from Tipping Me the App sent you. First, let's talk about the news. CNBC reports that Uber Eats and Mitsubishi are working together to provide self-driving Uber Eats robots in Japan. Now, Japan's one of those countries where I think it's really going to work, where robots just exist. I've lived there for a couple of different years, and let me tell you, the Japanese culture will adapt quickly to self-driving cars, autonomous vehicles, you name it. It's going to work really well in Japan. It could work in America if people didn't go around basically like destroying these vehicles. I think it could work here too. But for now, it's going to be in Japan, and let's see how it works for them. An Uber driver stopped an attack on a Jewish man. Another good news story here is an Uber driver just driving by saw another man attacking an elderly 69-year-old Jewish man and just jumped in to stop it. He was a good Samaritan. There's a link to the video down below. I recommend you watch it. A lot of times Uber drivers, we're just there. We're everywhere in our cities, and sometimes we just get a chance to do something good, and kudos to this Uber driver. I'm going to tell you, man, wrongful deactivations by Uber and Lyft, these apps, it really sucks. And lately, I've been feeling like I'm on the edge with them. I've had this warning where it says, hey, Levi, there's been some unusual cancellation activity on your account. And I don't know what they're talking about because I have a 1% cancellation rate. So there's that. And then the other day, they said I was spoofing my GPS. And so they canceled a $3.50 surge. I even used my Diamond status customer support, and I went out and asked them, it's like, hey, what's going on? And they said it was like just some sort of glitch, but they still didn't pay me the $3.50. Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. I've known 2 or 3 or 4, probably more drivers that have been deactivated. Some have been reinstated, but some haven't. And it's just not good. So just recently, the New York State Attorney General won a lawsuit basically against Uber and Lyft. There was a big fine, billions of dollars. There's going to be some new minimum wages for New York Uber and Lyft drivers. But there was this thing about deactivations and how that's going to happen. I've been getting all of these different emails from both Lyft and Uber about how they're going to handle deactivations going forward. And here's what you should know. No doubt there are certain behaviors that are going to get you deactivated. Background checks, if you have some sort of criminal record or whatever else they find in there, that's going to get you deactivated. Also, having bad documentation, uploading maybe the wrong registration or something like that. And I feel like those are 2 very different spectrums of things. So if you are a predator, yeah, you should be deactivated forever. And then if you're over here on this side, if you are basically uploading the wrong insurance document, you're probably going to be deactivated, but for a very brief moment in time. One of the really good things about it is that they're going to take your tenure into account. So me, I've been a driver for about 4 years. I've done a little over 8,000 trips with Uber. And I feel that Uber is going to consider that when and if some sort of deactivation takes place. Uber on their website pledged, hey, we're going to go ahead and have some empathetic and clear communication with you if you get deactivated. And I guess that's nice. I appreciate them being nice. But if it's a wrongful deactivation, that's going to suck. Can you imagine somebody just says you were racist or you drove really fast or some sort of deactivation that's really out of your control, somebody that wants a free trip, and that doesn't sit right with me. They are going to try to expedite the deactivation process and get some sort of resolution within 7 days. That seems to be pretty good. The fifth bullet on this website that they sent out, it says Uber should take a consistent approach to creating, reviewing, and changing account deactivations and review standards. So it says Uber should take. It's almost as if that's just copy and paste from the lawsuit. I think it should read something like Uber will take a consistent approach. I don't know. But overall, it just seems to me like there are certain steps that both Uber and Lyft are doing toward deactivations. Here's another interesting thing, though. The deactivation process, they are linking us to this place called Lyft. Sent me a link saying that if I get deactivated, you can file through the Independent Drivers Guild. It's a drivers-led, driver-powered advocacy group here in the state of New York. In fact, it's in multiple states like New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Illinois, and even Florida. I don't know if I like this because they're basically a union, and I'm not a big union person. That doesn't mean unions don't have some sort of value. And if they are an advocacy group and they're going to basically provide some sort of lawyers for me, maybe at no cost if I get wrongfully deactivated and help me fight my deactivation, I'm good with that. I guess I'm on the fence about this whole thing. The software are going to act the way they are. They have these if-then rules that are built into their software. If a customer complains about an unsafe driver, then we are going to immediately deactivate and probably temporarily deactivate that driver. They're going to take all these things into consideration. They're probably going to look at your GPS. They're going to look at your tenure, how long you've been a driver, maybe your rating, whatever it might be. And they're going to go ahead and make an official ruling. And then from there, you can go out to somebody like these Independent Drivers Guild. And if you stay deactivated for whatever reason, maybe it's a permanent, you can use them to fight Uber and Lyft and go to this union. So there's some good, there's some bad, but it's still just software. And I take it personal. I know it's not personal. I know it's just software and I'm just a number, but it is my livelihood. And now that I'm getting these warnings, and I don't feel like I'm going to get deactivated warnings, but they're still warnings. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know how it sits with you, but it makes me feel like these apps have basically answered the lawsuit, but didn't really solve the overall issue, which is wrongful deactivations. So we'll see. I think I'm on the fence on this one. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like this lawsuit here in the state of New York is something that should happen nationwide? Is this a solution going forward for all drivers? What would you like to see happen? The reality is this: unsafe drivers need to be deactivated. I don't see anything wrong with that. There's just got to be a process where it just doesn't seem so impersonal and arbitrary. I don't know. Let's see what happens. The Daily Drive is also brought to you by Voom Rideshare Insurance. With Voom, you pay for the rideshare insurance that you need. You see, when you are actually out there on the road driving for Uber and Lyft, you don't need to be covered by your personal insurance. Voom insures you only for when you're driving your personal time. This means drivers that drive like 30, 40, 50 hours a week, you're going to pay for only the rideshare insurance that you need, the personal insurance. Voom is great. They're in Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, and Tennessee. And they're going to be coming to a state near you. Click on the link below and let the team at Voom know that Levi from Tipping Them sent you. Save 60% by working with Voom. Voom Rideshare Insurance. Thank you so much for watching today's Daily Drive. I wish you the best. Be well. Be safe.